right, good morning. Welcome to today's live stream for 8:25. We've got we've had an insane rally. All of London. Look at this. And usually it's not like a super rally, but it's still rallied in one direction for all of Asia and London. It just pushed up and up. This is where things get a bit tricky. Usually after sessions that rally like this, the next one's usually a bit more difficult. So this is what I'm liking so far. Daily top left, let's start here. So you got this huge, hopefully all you can see this, hopefully it's big enough. Let me blow this up a bit more. All right, so top left is the daily chart. We've got this daily BISI, price took into it once, came down lower. It broke below mean threshold of this wick right here from August the 6th. You can see here, I thought yesterday it's going to hit this volume imbalance here that I have denoted in dark blue. It never happened. And then again, we got a lot more imbalances down here and down here. And I think that's where price is going to go. But right now it's been shooting up. It took out some liquidity that I was aiming for all of yesterday. Never hit it to hit it today during the night. These smooth highs here. And it looks like right now it might be targeting these two relative equal highs here. That's just my gut feeling here. There's a high here and a high here. You can see it nicely here on the 15-minute chart, like a double or a relative equal high here. Might be going there. But again, the lines that you see on the 1 minute, it's basically just the quadrants and eighths from the whatchamacallit, from the daily chart. So I was bearish today after this little push up. From this little push up. It's a bit more difficult now, but again, it's just because we are above or right below actually the mean threshold of this wick right here. And we've just pierced above the mean threshold of this fair value gap. Okay. 50-minute chart here, the relative equal highs here, strong push lower. You can see this basically turn into like a massive IFEG. Price pushed away from it. And right now it just, from a 1 minute perspective, it just broke above the new week opening gap. It broke below, but I do think that it's probably going to want to just keep pushing higher. So what we'll do is at 7 o'clock, we're going to ultimately see, and 7 o'clock's going to be right here, what price is going to want to do. Again, usually during 7 a.m., what does it do? It seeks liquidity and efficiency. So again, everything here below us, trendline liquidity. All of this here, that's all liquidity. So we do have to be a bit more cognizant about that. It would be nice to see kind of buy side liquidity sweep and then it starts attacking these lows here. But that's something that I see liquidity sitting on right now. I wish we consolidated during Asia and London, but we didn't. We rallied, so we just got to be a bit more careful here. That's a quick analysis. Five-minute top right. Hold on. I don't think you guys see my... Oh, yes, you can. Perfect. 5 minute, again, breach this random high here. Friday's first presentation, fair value gap at 821. You can see we had a fair value up here, rejected it once, broke below. Again, is price going to start hunting these lows here? Question I don't have an answer to. All about probability here. We're going to wait for 7 o'clock to open, wait for that first presentation after 7. But again, all of this here is levels that can be targeted. But then again, we got this relative high above us, right? We filled in yesterday's RTH gap completely. This little purple bar here. Like if we break it back above the new week opening gap, I do feel like we might be pushing higher. Level right here. For example, you know, trade 1. That might be interesting, actually, something like that. But again, we might never break it and might actually use it to push price lower into all of this. Like this low resistant liquidity run, right? Where you can see no lows have really been tagged. Like they have, right? Don't get me wrong, but it still left these relative equal lows below us. Coming back in 2 minutes, we will let the chart cook for a bit longer and see how we're going to react to this new week opening gap. Just grab some more coffee. All right. So just a reminder, remember, after every single strong push, there's usually some kind of consolidation that happens. You can use that for sessions, for inner sessions. Definitely helps. I do want to see how price is going to react to this new week opening gap here. Again, not loving these liquidities here, but a lot of stuff below us here that's worth targeting. So in today's session, if there's no A+ setup or anything, we won't take a trade. But this was a dirty, dirty reaction. We got a 5-minute. What did this 5-minute go into here? It broke. Didn't break anything. Just Like, see, so this is kind of, when it comes to shorting, it gets a bit challenging because price just stopped right before these relative equal highs here. Again, you can see very easily on the 50-minute chart. It broke below the new week opening gap. The shift in market structure is technically right here, right? Your MMS, right? Low, high, and then here's the first lower low. Still overall bullish structure, generally speaking. So there's the pros and cons of going both long and short. Let's look at ES quickly. This is ES. 1 hour. All of you should be able to see it. See what it did here? It left relative equal highs with August 21st. So it did push higher, never took it out. From a body perspective, it did. It closed higher. But it never took out that wick high there. And just it left those relative equals there. All right, good to know. Good to know. We're in a macro right now. We haven't hit 7 o'clock yet. You can see here, price, it just kissed the lower half of the new week opening gap. And again, it's pre 950 price action. It might be a bit wonky. Push lower, price push back up. Never touched that new week opening gap there. Could be shown as a weakness, but I'm waiting for that candle to drop at 7 o'clock. Audio test 1, 2. Audio. Sorry, give me 1 second. It's a little audio issue from my end. Audio test 1, 2. Audio test 1, 2. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, 7 o'clock candle dropped. The fair value gaps that I'd want to probably hinge a trade against are going to be the ones on the daily quadrants, right? So we've got a daily quadrant right here. We've got one right here. And if I were to be trading longs or shorts, I'd want to kind of use one of these quadrants or eighths here. This might be the first presentation after 7 o'clock. We'll wait for the next candle to close. That's gonna be the fair value gap there. Line in the sand for the morning session. So this one has a bit more weight than your regular fair value gap. See, that's right here. This has been used as a fair value gap in the past. Let's see if it's going to break through. Right now, the 1 hour is pushing into a hourly fair value gap. So this, what you'll see right now in the charts. Again, still bullish on all time frames, but this right here is an hourly fair value gap. We're pushing into it. Let me draw it out better for you guys. You guys can see it. There you go. It's right here. This is a 1 hour fair value gap. Okay. There might be an up like if I were to go short, it'd be nice to see it break down below the new day opening gap of 821. Use that and then push to these relative equal lows here. But again, very bullish. 1 hour, 15 minute. So we got to be a bit more patient today, guys. No clear targets. We're just waiting for price to show us a little directional move 2 to 1 after this huge run up here. Hey Vito, how's it going? Yeah, 15 minute. You might close below this 15-minute fair value gap here. That might be interesting. But let's see how we're gonna react to this 1 hour fair value gap. It's only 7:04 right now. Again, these are here right now, smooth highs, right? You can look at them as if like they're rejecting or they're trying to reject that low half of the new week opening gap, or you can see them as relative equal smooth highs, and that's where things get a bit finicky because when it comes to drawing liquidity, yeah, we have those equal highs above us, but at the same time we have all this trendline liquidity below us, and usually like the 7 to 9:30 session, it takes away from the London session, right? We're clearing that new week opening gap or that fair value gap there. I'm just sizing here, guys. This is not an A+ trade or anything, not a high probability fair value gap here. It's roughly, okay. Might be a quiet session, we'll see. We will see. The issue with cherry pick, I wish I can cherry pick these live streams, but we're just doing Tuesdays and Thursdays, so what price gives us, what price gives us. And remember, time of day. Time of day, very important right now. So like right now we're exiting a macro from 750 to 710. Again, that's usually a push for liquidity or inefficiency. Our next one's going to be around 8 o'clock. The price right now is hovering at the mean threshold of that daily fair value gap. Price failed to hold above the new week opening gap. Like if we were to kind of rally from here and close, like I think that's going to be like the run, right? Like the next run, just going to be continuation. But because we have all this liquidity sitting here, price might want to sweep some stuff before it starts pushing up higher. Sold long SPX Friday in profit. That was recent last 2 days, still holding in Q long. Oh, really nice, man. Yeah. Good longs, man. Crazy longs if you manage to catch that. During Asia last night, I tried shorting. My trade looked something like this. And I got stopped out for just that break even. It was something like, what was I targeting? I was targeting this right here. I got stopped out for -1 here. I was very surprised that it pushed higher. We're pushing into that new week opening gap again. What's 821 last Friday? You can see here, like in the past, it respected the high, dropped below. So there's sensitivity to this area. But in terms of like a strong draw, guys, again, I still have 2 levels that it can draw to, below us or above us. And unless I see a weighted probability 70% to 1 versus the other, I can't take a trade, unfortunately. Strict rules here. If it closes below this, different story. But it would be nice to see it pull back, maybe the first presentation, react off of this. Again, right now it's just dropping. We're not on a macro time. We're not on a daily fair value gap quadrant level. And like these are like the next 2 levels here and here. Like, and look how nicely it's respecting this level here. See? Touch, 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 touch. You know, to downside and then to the upside. All right, price stretched his little fingers down. You can see here, it might close within this 1 hour fair value gap here. The 1 hour is closing in 50 minutes in a very long time. That was an interesting rejection. It took out, there's, you know, minor buy side right here. So it took that out from a wick perspective. Do we have news today? Let's see. Forex Factory. 10 a.m. Orange folder. That's it. Okay. See, that is an interesting reaction right there. Let's see here. Crazy long till these highs. After that sweep, let's see if we get above 7 a.m. first presentation. Line in the sand there. Something like that. 4 to 1. So if price swept that from a wick perspective, which is a weak swipe, and it closes above first presentation, I would be expecting price to start digging into new week opening gap. It gets the mean threshold, maybe that's when you go to break even. That might be a possibility if price does that, right? $50-minute is closing in 3 minutes here. Let's see how that body closes. If it's going to close within the fair value gap or below or above the mean threshold. And then 5 minute here, you can see that we got this little imbalance to the downside. Multi-time frame analysis, guys. This is what you do. Sometimes if everything's pointing in one direction, you've got a good trade. See, I'm trying to figure out what created this spike right here. Was that news driven? 8, 9, so 8, 10. Oh, so that was a Trump tweet. Just talking about stopping the war. So we also have like a 5 minute fair value gap right here. If price gets up here and closes above, it's going to qualify that 5 minute fair value gap as an inversion. It's going to like the 15 minute is going to sit above that 15-minute fair value gap. And again, the 1 hour is closing in 45 minutes. We can't really use that right now, but we can assume that it will close above, and that's going to be a continuation to the upside. That's possibility one, right? If it does something like that, I can see longs here. Again, we got all of this sell side below us. So if it gets there, if it continues dropping here, we got a low, 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 low. We got all of this here below us, which price would maybe want to grab first. So my overall bias is still bullish here. It's just, am I going to engage in a pullback play, or was this the pullback and price will continue going higher? I think if I was in shorts right now, I'd be freaking out about this price action. It just dropping like that and just pushing back up. "30 seconds till the 15-minute closes." Price has not done anything for the last 15 minutes. It's just consolidating. Is that a low that it's creating? Maybe. So the 15-minute closed within this fair value gap. Okay, it closed in the lower half, but what it's telling me that there might be possible rejection. The bodies are respecting it. Okay, 5 minute, we're pushing into it. We're closing within it. Again, it's not giving me much information from like a bullish perspective. But again, this sweep right here could have been the liquidity sweep before the push higher. Again, it's just something I'm considering. Crazy bullish PA here. Again, liquidity levels below us. The better long would be if we did do something like this, and then we push higher, right? But we don't have that right now, so. And then idea 2 here would be we close below this new week opening gap. And I target these lows here. That's idea 2 there. So you can see here how bias is mixed right now. It just depends on what price has to do or what it wants to do. But I like in the past how the new week opening gap was respected here. And again, it's within the last 5 days, last Friday, it's just 3 days ago. It doesn't lose value that's 3 days ago. Do I prefer like fair value gaps from or new day opening gaps from yesterday and like today? Of course. But within the last 5 days, there's still relevant PD arrays. So like, you know, will the bodies close below here, push up, reject? Then yeah, definitely a little small short. You know, I would have my stop loss above like those highs right there. Initial rejection. 1 hour fair value gap. So 2 possibilities there. What would that be? That would be roughly 5. And it'd be really nice to do this within a macro as well. So macro is going to be in 20 minutes from now. That's going to be like the cherry on top. If it does one of these 2 things to show us a macro, it gives us a bit more a directional push. Because you can see over the last, since 7:06 till now, or you know what? No, since this time right here, 7:03, we've really pushed nowhere. 15 minutes of sideways price action. Remember what ICT says, first time then price, right? If it's not the right time, it won't push. Hindsight, technically, a short here could have been taken, assuming that was the high, break back below new week opening gap and just start driving to these lows here. So if you were up at, 6:30, I was watching this. It's just I hesitated. Wasn't loving it. Price's bodies, you can see here on the 1 minute, they are staying in the upper half of this new week opening gap. They failed how many times? Many times here to get to that lower half. So once we kind of get bodies to that lower half and we get a break below, that's going to give me confidence that we may be using that as an inversion and pushing price to the downside. Again, we got our levels there of minor buy side liquidity, LR, low resistance liquidity run. And again, draw above us. So again, we're just waiting to see what price will print here for us. These are like the 2 possible options. Price gets below here, I will be driving it lower. And again, if it decides to print above, that may have been the low, the swipe, and we're going to be pushing higher. Again, that's a 15-minute chart there. We can always even like grade this wick right here and see how price reacts to the mean threshold of it. So again, seeing bodies drop below here, that would indicate bearishness. All right, very nice little push here. What I'm liking right now about possible longs is just how we're reacting off of this new week opening gap here after this push lower from 611 till now. We grab this liquidity. It looks like price does not want to break the new week opening gap. We're overall still bullish. We're very bullish. It'd be nice to see price get above that first presentation fair value gap. Something like that. And then we'll probably do something like, that'd be like a swing play. Trying to grab these highs. Like if it does something like that, if it gets above, show support, longs. That would be 3. And when going long here, like the one negative would be you're trading into this new week opening gap that was technically respected and rejected the downside. Try breaking above, fail to do so, and your anticipation is that it breaks into it and it slices and uses it as an inversion to push up higher. Then you're ultra safe. Once that breaks above, you have your stop loss at break even. I think it's basically 0 or hero at that point. RTH gap. Five minutes can close in a minute and 30 seconds here. Again, I think it's a bit premature entering the long here because it can definitely reject this and go lower. The quality of this trade, I'll probably rank it as a B. It's not like I love the liquidity it grabbed from below us, but it looks like it did bottom out here. Lower low, higher high, MMS right here. Or at least a CSID, change in delivery. Something like that, 3 to 1. And if the 5-minute closes like that, it'll be a very strong close. From a 5-minute perspective, 50-minute is holding up. Again, we're in bullish territory now, so unless price wants to juke out and take out these lows here, time 7:24. I wouldn't mind price moving sideways for the next 20 minutes here and then moving at the macro time. That would add more confidence and confluence to the trade. What are you guys thinking? Longs or shorts? It's a tough market, to be honest, this morning with such a rally during Asia and London. So let me know your thoughts, guys, in the chat. If you guys have a preference in direction. I like how the bodies here of this wick never broke below the lower half. Interim bullishness. I'm not in this trade, guys. I'm guessing flip on the 30 for a long, like on the 30-second or 30-minute. So price went into first presentation. Remember, I wanted to break above that. We never did. Brutal. 30-minute. Let's look at the 30-minute here. Not a time frame I use a lot, to be honest. Okay, so the 30-minute has an inefficiency that in 3 minutes we might close below. We'll see. But see this, guys, like this right here. This is PA that you do not want to engage in. Nothing clear. And it's just about being patient in these markets. If you're not patient, easy to give back. But it's okay. We'll give it today. We'll be live till the next macro. 750 to 810. Hopefully that's the run there. Or we get a run. But like if you ask yourself right now, like what's price going to do? You can just look at these time frames, and in 2 minutes from now, the 15 minutes going to close below this fair value gap here, right? So slight bear sentiment. 5 minute. This is if it's going to close like this in 2 minutes, that's going to be a really nice rejection of this fair value gap. I'll delete that drawing there. Right now I'm sidelined. I am sidelined between going long and short. I'm going to have to see price disturbed one side. Just do something just to give me confluence. And again, if it's a weak trade, we'll just paper trade it. We'll just pretend that we go in a position. No point of risking real capital behind this kind of PA here. And why do we have PA like this? Because look at this run here. Just push stop. Oh gosh, sorry for the yawning, guys. This coffee's not kicking in yet. But isn't it nice to sit on your hands and just watch price do this at the same time? You're like, okay, good thing I'm not in this PA. And remember, after consolidation like this, like let's look at the pre 930 session, 7 to 930. If it consolidates like this, what does that mean for the, like if it does this until 930? 930 is like all the way even farther. And that means that most likely we're going to run aggressively at 930. Like it's going to pick a direction and shoot. And most likely if we're bullish here, it's probably going to push higher. Nice. That I'm liking. Those are the highs I want to attack. We're looking at the bodies here, right? Remember, wicks through the damage, looking at the bodies, body closure above here would give, a slight indication that we may be pushing higher here. But let's try to get above this first presentation at 7 a.m. Stop's going to be right below like that swing low there. Again, I'm going to be risking exactly three micros to the upside. price also might push into these highs here, grab it, and then just reverse lower. The thing that I might be worried about. So again, when getting into the trade, like the moment it touches this level, I think I'm gonna just shoot it a break even if I get into it. No, not yet. Honestly, like right now, Huzian, I'm sitting on my hands. If I see something like the 1 minute sprinting, like nice PA, but right now I'd probably want to see a break above first presentation after 7. So this little box here, the 5 minute closes in this area too. That's going to give me further indication that we might be inverting this, and then that's going to be the long. So I need a couple of time frames here to line up. You can see here the 15 minute, the bodies are staying within like the fair value gap, and then like the 1 hour. If it closes like that, that's going to be a very bullish reaction. And I think we're going to continue pushing up higher, right? So I'm not fading the market. I'm just going to continue with that trend, but that trend hasn't been confirmed yet. And you can see here right now, it's done nothing for many minutes. Basically since 7, we've been sidelined. This entire live stream, price has been moving sideways. And if it's going to be like this around 8:52, then I'm going to stop trading at 8. I'm going to come back at 9:30 and see if I can grab price, because it's going to be a very fast directional push at 9 o'clock. So remember, 7 to 9, you can mark that in your charts. 9:30 is going to be here. That's going to be that window there that you look at how price is reacting. And if it's consolidating, it's probably going to be around at 9:30. If it was running here, let's say like we had a nice trending direction pre 9:30, then the 9:30 you skip 100% of the time. Make that rule. It's very important. And those are some of the teachings that ICT dropped recently as well. Man, this PA is garbage. Most traders get chopped up around PA like this. Like you go long, short. And that's what eats away like 3R within 20 minutes, and price has done nothing. So we just gotta wait, guys. If you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to drop it in the chat. But as of right now, oh my gosh. It's also nice to sit out. I think like not taking a trade during all this is also great. Confirms that nothing clean has been showed. Again, remember, we got minor buy side below us. We're assuming that was the swipe. This wick right here, the mean threshold never got treated to. This 50-minute fair value gap here. It'll be really nice to see us close above it, right? So us closing above that, plus the 5 minute, plus 1 hour is just going to naturally follow in 25 minutes. Dailies right now, it looks like it's pumping like a bull to, you know, which level? Again, I think these two levels right here, it's really grabbing my eye. But that's it. That's the biz. You can see here this first presentation, like it's just bouncing between. Like this I'm gonna delete. Like this is like no value add. But the 7 a.m. first presentation, getting close above that will give you a bit more confluence. See, closing in the upper half here. Again, I want to see a close above it. 5-minute confirmation, 15-minute confirmation, in 8 minutes maybe. At least in 3 minutes, we'll see what the 5 minute does. Because like if the 5 minute closes another body below mean threshold, what is it going to tell you? It's going to tell you that the run might might continue lower. And it's completely okay, like just not knowing where where price is going. If I always knew where price would be going, I'd be in a different position right now. But again, it's just staying patient, taking 1 to 2 trades a day that you have full confidence in. A lot of PD arrays. And if it doesn't happen now, it's going to happen at 9:30. If it doesn't happen at 9:30, maybe lunch. Like what if 9 o'clock just pushes in one direction for 2 hours? Then you trade the lunch pullback. Very easy trade. Or if 9:30 consolidates, and trade the afternoon, right? Usually if morning isn't nice and afternoon is nice. The relationship between sessions. I had a feeling today's live stream is going to be like this after this expansion during London. Like there's a pretty high chance that we're just going to consolidate. And that's all we have today. So to be honest, 750 is going to be start time for macro. Like this window right here. If a trade's going to be taken, I'm going to want it to take it here. Like this color, or like what color can we make it? What color will stand out nicely? Like yellow. This right here is the macro. This is where price is going to push generally. Ooh, that's I'm liking, see? But the way we kind of acted in this first presentation is, bodies were closing within it. This is going to be the first close above after 7 o'clock. 5 minutes going to close in a minute here. 50 minutes going to close in 6. Like this is a setup. Is it a great setup? See, technically we closed above right there. So bodies closed above. It'd be nicer if we got to this macro here. The reason why I don't love it right now is just because we've consolidated for so long and we're technically still in consolidation. I know we closed above here, guys, but it's like, just look at price and what it did on the 1 minute. You know how easily it's going to be for this candle just to drop back lower and just close there? Usually when it uses fair value gaps, like you don't want to see it breaking a mean threshold, and then when it does, it never comes back. Like, that's what you want to see. Is it going to probably push higher from here, at least to there? Yeah, I think so. Like that's going to be like my next guess, like that little run there. And then from there, is it going to reject or is it going to slice through? All right, so 5 minute here, you can see it closed above. Oh, it closed actually within the fair value gap on the upper half, right? So again, if I was shorting here, I wouldn't want to see that. Yeah, but gun to my head right now, I think we're going to be going up from here, but just not loving it, guys. Nice rejection here. 5 minute close nicely. The 15 minute is probably going to close nicely too. You know what? Let's take a little long here. Here, I'll take the long, guys. This is, I'll call it a B minus setup. Let's see here. I'll have my stop right there. Five-minute validation, IFEG, pretty much confirmed there. ultra weakness off of this fair value gap. Price really worked its way through all this consolidation here. It's all balanced. It shouldn't come here. I took out that low. Right before the macro. 1 hour is closing in 18 minutes. I don't want to see the 7 a.m. fair value gap close to the downside. Like I would not want to see price close below back here. To be honest, what I could do is I can even leave my stop actually. Yeah, how would that look like on the, like for example, like right there. So like let's call the trade like this. I'm trading 70% right now or 60% of a regular position. Just because it's correlated to my confidence level here. I'm not trading full risk here. And we'd want to see this react and push higher to these highs here, okay? Once it gets to these highs, I'm going to break even. And I want it to start slicing. $7 a.m. high hasn't been taken yet, which is nice to see. It's creating relative equal highs on the 1 minute. And again, right here, I am seeing this is going to be minor buy side. Minor buy side liquidity. Right, so all these little highs here. I'm pretty sure everyone that's shorting has their stop loss just butted up against these highs here, assuming that price is going to push lower. Right. Where's the market smooth? Above us. Where's the jagged? Below us. This is fair. My stop loss is on the lower end of the 5-minute fair value gap. See, like now we don't want to see the candles close below mean threshold too, right? So that was nice to see. Nice little closure back above. All positive for the trade. Like, can we get all the way up here? We'll see. Like once we tag that, I'm just going to go to break even. I'm just going to hold the position through the open. But again, remember guys, it's going to be a quick, because we got the new week opening gap here, it's going to be a quick break even for me. Once we take these highs out, because I want to see price use this as rocket fuel to continue pushing higher. I don't want to see a tag here and then just start driving lower. We're almost at the macro, very close. I'm gonna move my stop loss below this massive candle here. So fair value gap low, first presentation. And again, like initially I think like this would be like 1% for me if my stop loss is right there. So I'm basically trading half risk, very little. And if we kind of break above here, like we'll scale in, right? So like my stop loss is right here. Remember guys, this is not an A+ setup. It's a setup B-, but we're managing risk accordingly. I'm liking how we're using that upper half of that first presentation there. I feel like right now it wants to stretch its little fingers to all these highs here. From a 5-minute perspective, technically, price has never closed a body above this fair value gap here. I really wish it did on this candle, but it didn't. But again, if you were in shorts here and you had a stop loss right there, like, would you feel safe? It's a good question to ask yourself. I wouldn't. I know I'd be probably get destroyed. And I would be freaking out. Term shitting my pants. All right. Perfect. I'm moving my stop loss below, like at the low of the 7 a.m. first presentation. Would not want to see price get back to the lower half here. Okay. And it's sitting at the lower half. So again, price is at 30% now. Very little risk. 30% of regular position. And at this point, once it breaks these highs here, there you go. I'll move my stop loss below mean threshold. And I want to see it now drive. Just keep going higher. No pullback. Can even be below like this low right here. So like, what is that? 15, 20% risk at this point, and now it just has to drive higher. If it hits target, it's $1,000 on each account, right? There you go. I think that's a reasonable expectation here now to go to break even. And again, if it rejects it and takes me out of break even, so be it, right? But it's the anticipation of it going into this level. Some resistance around 370. Yeah, that's gonna be the low of the new week. But I like how we kind of close within it. And now again, it's just sell stops right there. And now we just wait, right? What's price gonna do? It's gonna keep going. I like how this I hope we close here because then we'll have a fair value gap on the quadrant. So come on, 30 seconds. Just give us a bit more here. You'll create some nice PD arrays. But we might have a really nice fair value gap right here. And I'll know in 20 seconds if it forms. And if it does, it's going to form on the quadrant, which is nice. I might actually scale in boys here. Because I don't think price is going to get down here, right? I'm assuming it'll never will, and we can always do something like this. Okay, I'm going to buy one more here. Oh, why didn't I buy? Okay, there you go. It's a very delayed buy. Okay. So we're at 4 contracts here. If it closes completely above the new week opening gap, I'll buy one more. It'll be 5. Terminus, relative goal highs on the 15-minute. And that's going to be roughly how much? 4 contracts. Yeah, roughly $1,000. If it gets there, so. Remember, guys, I can completely stop at the new week opening gap and just revert lower. But after all this consolidation, again, I think my stop loss here, oops, stop loss is right there now. It's just below this high probability fair value gap. Again, I wouldn't want to see price break to the downside of this new week opening gap. Like for me, that would be invalidation. And again, like if you took a trade around here, you are basically, it's a win-win, right? You're in the trade, the possibilities to the upside. You want to play really safe, you take out at these highs here. Oh shit, look at that. What you can do here with your stop losses, you know, you can secure a couple of bucks for a lunch here. But actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave it below here. It might just take a wick there, drive into that high probability fair value gap, and then push higher. Then what I'll do here is I'll create my limit later. But these highs are suspicious now. They're relatively equal. Look at the bodies. That right there, that's not a stop loss. That is just a trend line. So we push into the upper half of the new opening gap. Nice. Let's see if it wants to break out. If it pulls back and does some aggressive rejection, I might add one more contract and scale in further. We'll see. The 1 hour is going to brutal close to the upside. Like went into that fair value gap. It's going to close in what? 8 minutes. Now we wait, guys. We were patient all this time, and now we're going to be patient in the trade. Random outcome from NQ. Whatever happens, happens. We just got to keep playing the same edge over and over. Oh, nice, man. Nice. That was a nice, to be honest, a 3 week, that felt very long. Glad you're doing okay, man. See, price went and touched the quadrant here, right? Daily upper quadrant. And we want to stay above this now, okay? The moment we dip below this fair value gap here, I have no interest in this long anymore. And we are officially in the macro here. So hopefully we get a little push up higher. Stop loss is right there. So commissions plus entry. Come on, price. Use that daily quadrant and push up here. Reward us for patience. That's very simple. It's like if it breaks this, then my bias is over, trade's over. And I'll probably come back and then that's it for the live stream. We're done. Hopefully it uses this level. I know James Bond right now is saying that there's support at 870. I know there is. This level here is extremely strong. There you go. Nice little rejection there. And hopefully it continues pushing up during this macro. If it gets up here, then we'll kind of maybe secure half an hour. But it just needs to push higher here. Don't want to choke the trade. If you guys are learning something, feel free to drop a like. Helps out the channel. But all in all, again, NQ can do whatever it wants here. Just always have that thought in your mind. Like it can spike all the way down and then back up. But just having an edge that does something time and time again, that's kind of what gives us the payouts. Making money through randomness. So that's the macro. So I will remove that yellow bar there. Again, we want it have price stay above this level here, like this quadrant. Very important. New week opening gap, mean threshold. That could be the rejection, but I'm anticipating that we drive higher. It's nice to see how it's failing to close a body below this level. That's nice to see. Let's see here. Let me So London, so these are London highs here. All right, we'll see. I wish we pushed more during this macro. We kind of came down. We're kissing the quadrant. Again, bias is over the moment. Like the moment a body goes below this, I wouldn't want to see that. Five-minute, nice little aggressive push higher. Left a fair value gap. But anywho. I don't like these execution marks, but we'll leave them here. So sorry, I'm just double checking my target here just to make sure it's realistic. Yeah, why wouldn't it be realistic? Even like that right there. Asia highs from Monday. See, high probability for value gap. So far, we haven't seen a single body lay in the upper half, just little tiny little wicks here. If this pushes away, this is going to be considered a breakaway gap where it couldn't fill it in at all. So TBD, guys. I only know this once price does it. Ain't no ICT here. Come on, price. Give us that push. Right now, it's sitting in the lower half of the new week opening gap. What does that mean? It means it's pushing it down. And that was my biggest concern about this long here. I'm going to really try to let this thing breathe here as much as I can without giving a penny back to the market. Because at the point, it's going to go higher. It's going to do funny stuff. I think Jackson symposium, whole symposium is this week. So what ICT said is price action might be a bit funky. I don't know if this is considered funky. That close I didn't like. I think we're SOL here, guys. Shit out of luck. We'll see. Did it not tag me out? There you go. No bueno, guys. No run today. Could you imagine it just, oh no. Here, let me remove these little arrows here. We'll leave them. That took me out there. New week opening up, boys and girls. And again, that could have just been a little damaging wick here and it might push higher. Do I re-enter? 8 o'clock. Was that the 8 o'clock candle that did it? No, it didn't. That sucks. I'm just not feeling this re-entry right now. I'll see what this candle does here. Like a close in the lower half of this high probability. Like again, like price technically, if it's bullish, it shouldn't break this fair value. Like this is like a high probability fair value gap. Boy, oh boy. It took out all these highs here. Like remember that buy side that we had? Came up, new week opening gap. Anticipation was it's going to slice through and never did. Use the lower half here. That was all right. To be honest, I think it was managed well. I think the entry was well. Overall, happy with my execution. Regardless, even if it pumps up from here, that was the plan. That was the execution. Couldn't be anything better than that. Just seeing how you react to this little fair value gap here. This might be a brutal close here in 12 seconds, like a push up into the new week opening gap and a closing right below it, the lower half of this high probability fair value gap. That might be a candidate for price pushing lower at that point. Like that right there, I'd be really concerned. And I think right now it would drive, regardless, to my first entry of that long. And at this point, like, just look at price. Like it created this like high consolidating low here. Went into new week opening gap, and new week opening gap said, nope, not letting you through. And at this point, my long bias is over. And we're well out of the trade. Let's see what time is it? 8:03. Do we cut the live stream? Here, I'm gonna give it 7 more minutes till 8:10, and if nothing cool happens at 8:10, we're just gonna call it a session. We close back above this level here. Safer to fade the daily highs. Like when going short, yeah, getting some serious sell side liquidity taken before going short. I completely agree with that. This would have been, yeah. See, I don't know if I would have. I'm looking back and I'm like, would I have held my stop loss? Probably not. I think I would have executed like this every single time. So again, stick to your stop loss management, even if it starts pumping higher. It is what it is. Price can do whatever it's want at the end of the day. As long as my edge keeps playing out 55% of the time, I'm okay. Not even like 48% of the time, everything's okay. As long as you're pumping more than 2 to 1 here. But you can see here, like, what is price doing? Like, it consolidated ever since like this candle here. At like this entire macro is just pure consolidation. So look what it did. It consolidated here. We grabbed it at the end of the consolidation for like what, 5 minutes? And then it consolidated once again at the low end of the new week opening gap. So it's not really doing much. I'm not going to say long here. I think that's going to be very irresponsible and irrational of me to do that. Like, guys, this is not clean, unfortunately. But we'll give it 5 more minutes. But that's going to be the end of the macro. So the next macro is going to be at 850. Okay. It's going to be somewhere right here. And we'll see like what's going to happen, right? But most likely I'm not going to be on the charts. I'm going to get back on around 9:30. And I'm going to use the high and low of the 7 to 9:30 session, and then use that as indication where price might go after 9:30. But guys, price action is cooked. So you know what, guys? I'm going to save all you some time here. Trades by fine is long till 410. So the London high is here. Again, it might go there, it might not. I don't know at this point. It's just consolidating way too much. Like this is this is price action you don't want to be a part of. But the nice thing is look at that. We managed to grab the cleanest price action in the last hour. It's just decided to consolidate. So nothing you can do about that. It's like technically I could have gotten out at 1R, but that's not long-term feasible for me. So it looks like everyone's long here in the chat, or at least a couple of you. London highs are, yeah, it's right here. London highs, it's 5 a.m. Actually, no, 6 a.m. That's how I have my chart set till 6. Let's see what I have here. Till 6 o'clock. You know what? An ICT many times. He called it 5 and he called it 6. But to be honest, 5, 6 delivered many times. Like London highs at 5 would be down here. Again, ICT said 6. So, and if you look at his videos, he said 5 and 6, but I just picked 6. So I'm going to be sticking to 6 here for my London highs. And then 6 to 7 is dead zone. And then 7 to 9:30 is pre 9:30. So again, we're consolidating here, guys. This might be the push higher. See, so you're wrong about that. New York lunch is not from 12 to 1. New York lunch can start 11:30 to 1:30. That's lunch. So if you guys are still in the longs, congratulations. You managed this little wick down. Again, I think holding it higher, like to these relative equal highs above us, I think that's a nice intermediary target. But again, if you really want to stretch it to those 50-minute highs there, that might be the next draw on liquidity. So again, that's something I would be targeting. But like, just look how it's actually presenting here in the lower half of the New York opening gap. All of these bodies here. So it's price is really failing to close above. This is showing general, weakness. The moment it punches above, that's when buy changes. But again, just be careful of that. So like I wouldn't be longing right now. I'd probably wait for the break and then again pushing higher. But again, with relative equal highs just above us, that would be probably like the next interim level pull. But I'd be probably looking, higher for a higher RR there. But again, weird time, 8:10, 8:50 just around the corner. But I'm gonna call it a day, guys, here. Oh, he got 20K? Oh, nice. My highest payout from it was like 14K, I think. I try to get 20K many times, but there's a lot of stress getting from 15K to 20K there. Yeah, Garvett's a good guy. All right, guys, let's call it a session here. I don't like it. To be honest, it's consolidating. I think 9:30 is going to be a run for your money if it keeps consolidating. So do keep that in mind, guys. But like always, I'll do another stream on Thursday, same time. And unfortunately, today, no bueno, but on to the next, guys. Take care, guys. Trade safe and talk soon.